welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be making some vegan caldo de pollo without the pollo. These are some of the ingredients you're going to be using. This recipe is good for 2 people, so if you are cooking for more, just make sure you double these accordingly. But we're going to use, I have some frozen corn here. Usually you do use fresh corn, but I am going to use my fresh corn for another recipe, so I'm just using about a cup of frozen corn. Then we have some chayote squash, some baby carrots. You can also use regular carrots and just cut them up, but I only have baby carrots, so I'm going to use those today. I have 2 yellow potatoes, 2 fresh garlic cloves, and 2 bay leaves. One of them is pretty small and the other one's kind of medium size, so you only need either 1 or 2 small ones. And then this is optional, but I am also adding 2 dried chili peppers here. We have a tablespoon or teaspoon of salt, and then this is going to be pretty important for your stock. So this is a small green onion, and this is what we're going to use to flavor our caldo. So again, this is very important. Then I also have a regular onion that I'm going to add later. I'm probably going to cut this in half. And this purple cabbage. So usually you do want to use the regular green cabbage, but I didn't have any. So hopefully this doesn't turn my caldo purple. We'll see. And then finally I just have some of the fresh cilantro that I just washed. And pepper here. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off using the small green onion. You can use either a green onion or a scallion. I'm not really sure what the difference is between them, but I'm just using one because I only have one. But you'll probably want to use maybe 2 small ones to get started. So I'm going to saute that up with my 2 garlic cloves in our pot here. So we'll just saute these up a bit until they're a little golden. So now that these are nice and golden brown, I'm going to go ahead and add some water to this. You can also use vegetable stock, but I don't necessarily like the flavor of the vegetable stock in this particular recipe. So if you do use it, just make sure you're checking the sodium content on there and adjusting your salt accordingly. So I added here 8 cups of water. And I'm going to bring this back to a boil and then add my potatoes and carrots until they're soft. While that's boiling, I'm also going to add my 1/4 of this yellow onion and my 2 bay leaves, because this is also what's going to flavor your caldo. So we added both of those in there also, and then I'm just going to add the black pepper. So now that the caldo has been brought back to a boil, I did check the carrots and the potatoes to make sure they're soft. So now we're just going to go ahead and add the chayote squash. And then I'm also adding my frozen corn. And we'll continue boiling that for maybe an extra 10 minutes. And then right now we'll also want to add our salt to this. And just make sure you try that just to make sure you don't need any more salt. I haven't gotten this recipe down 100%, so just double check that too. I just did a quick taste test here, and I did need to add an extra tablespoon of salt to mine, but we're also going to add the optional dried chili peppers here. These are really great to give it a nice spicy flavor if you're into that. So now that everything's boiled back up again and our chayote squash is soft, I'm going to go ahead and add my cabbage. Again, you'll want to use the regular green cabbage, so I'm hoping that this doesn't turn my soup purple. We'll see. And then finally we're going to add our cilantro once the cabbage has been cooking for a few minutes. Mine was cooking for about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to close that up, and that'll be done within the next maybe 2 to 5 minutes or so. It doesn't take much for that to get cooked. So this is pretty much done now. My cabbage did end up coloring the water a bit, so I actually just added a little bit of turmeric just to kind of make it a little bit more yellow color. That you don't have to add that if you use just regular cabbage, or if you don't mind the water being a little discolored. And then I just added a sprinkle of thyme leaves and a little bit of onion powder just for some extra flavor there. But otherwise this is pretty much done. So let's go ahead and have a bowl here. So here's the final look. I'm just gonna put a little bit of lime juice on top of that. And I'm having that with my homemade tortillas here today. I'm also making a little red salsa on the side to have with this, but this is pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you decide to try this recipe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.